Or you
Shall
want to
we?
do the DK lineup?
We do that after.
To going over it?
Don't get excited. Yeah, we always do it after.
Is it?
We do
check the tapes. Check the tapes.
You check the tapes. You check the tapes. John, right or wrong?
John doesn't know.
This guy.
I'm good. I'm gonna not do money line this week because I'm going for 3 for 3. You've heard it.
I think that you should look at the board and go with what you feel.
Oh, because going with what I feel always works in my life.
Go with the jellies.
That's right.
Oh my God, I love you guys. Did I say that?
Jellies or die. Week 14 in the Always Sunday Football Podcast. I'm joined, as I am every week, by the unluckiest man in fantasy football history. Anthony, how you doing, bro?
Feeling pretty unlucky, my man.
And I'm doing great, but not as good as the luckiest man in fantasy football history. Johnny, how's it going?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, no shit. No fucking shit. Speaking of wonderful, let's take a look back at last week's parlays, shall we?
No.
John?
I absolutely fucking shit the bed
John,
with
So did I.
all 3 of my picks, including, we'll get into this a little bit later, DK. Absolutely dropped the ball this week. Awful.
That's right. That's right.
I definitely I went 0 for 3 too, but I didn't drop the ball in DK. I think if you actually look through my lineup was like set up nicely. Just a few of those people didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Oh, we'll look through your lineup.
I know we will.
Here's the interesting thing here is that what I learned this weekend is that when you pick a money line and it ties, which is what happened in the Giants-Commanders game. You guys both had the Giants on the money line there. And it was a 20-20 tie, but they pushed that game, which I think that's a loser, right? If a money line ties, money line means they're going to win.
Yes, correct.
If they don't win, tie is not a win. So,
I guess they say, well, they didn't lose.
That's the thing. That's the weird thing, because that's the way it seems as though DraftKings interprets it. So you guys both went 0 for 2 this week, when the third one, the push, should have been recorded as a loss, right? The Jets also lost on the money line, but they kept it close. It was interesting. And then the Colts, John, plus 10.5. The Colts got absolutely smashed.
Only in the fourth quarter. Only in the fourth quarter.
Stop it. Only in the fourth quarter.
It was a 2-point game. It was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter.
Whatever you need to tell yourself, Chief. That game was an absolute joke, because they have to play all 4 quarters, just so you know. Like, all 4 quarters do count. You can't stop the scoring at any given time. It has to be a minimum of 4 quarters. The Giants and the Redskins found out that it can be 5 quarters. Donovan McNabb found that out a long time ago.
Yeah, I knew that he was going to make that field goal just because the over-under. I was like, he's not going to make it. The over-under was like 40 or 40 and a half, and I was like, it's a 58-yarder. My man's made one of those before for sure, but I'm like, it's not today, Sal. And he missed that shit by a couple feet.
I missed my parlay by another absolute smashing. The Lions destroyed the Jaguars. I had the Jaguars +1. It would have needed to be plus 30 in order for that one to work. But I did get the Eagles -4.5. They beat the hell out of the Titans. And Cincinnati on the money line. That's right. It also did hit the under, by the way, guys. Under and Cincinnati money line. Pay them in. So I was 2 for 3 last week, but still that in search of that 3-0. We're still in search of that 3-0. So let's take a look at the board this week, shall we? We get to break down the Thursday night game because it is early in the week, Tuesday. So Thursday night, Raiders-Rams. Shit show.
Yeah. Raiders
are favored on the road by 6 points with a 44.5 over-under. The Rams are starting, I want to say it's John Wolford, but good Lord knows who it's actually going to be and if it matters. John, does it matter?
No, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to take the under in this game, absolutely. But I'll take the points with the Raiders. They have been playing a little bit better. That defense has been a little bit shaky, but the Rams are an absolute disaster. Which team is more of a disaster? It's obviously the Rams. So give me the points with the Raiders. I'm taking the under.
No, you're good. I mean, your camera sucks right now, but you're good.
Like, it looks like you hotboxed your like entire room.
Maybe that's what I was going for.
That's true. It's true. You do look like you're sitting in super fog, bro.
Look.
And you are frozen now. Yeah.
And yeah.
So your whole shit is I am going to take the Raiders and lay the points as well. And Thursday night unders are pretty much a lock. I want to take the over here because the Raiders score so many points and the Rams are just that bad. But I'll say that it's under as well. Anthony, can you hear us through the fog?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders laying the 6. And I'm going to go with the over just a little bit because you both chose the under. And I like to go against the odds. But the Raiders have been on fire these past few weeks, at least scoring-wise. So I think 44.5 is feasible if the Raiders throw up high 20s, you know?
Yeah, see, I definitely can see that. Sunday, 1 o'clock, your Minnesota Vikings coming off a big win against the Jets. They're going to Detroit. Detroit is favored in this game. This is some wild stuff. Detroit just beat the hell out of the Jaguars. Like, none of this makes any sense to me. Detroit -2, 53-point over under. Anthony, make it make sense.
There is no sense because I think they can't make sense of the Vikings. Maybe that's it. But we said it, I think we've all agreed. Whoever said it doesn't matter. We all 100% agreed before the season started, or week 1 of this series of us, that the Lions are frisky
and fun. At
frisky
times.
And fun. Yeah,
they've been less fun this year, but yes, frisky.
But they've been putting in the work, and it's kind of, you know, I see it right here. I feel it. Give me the Lions laying the 2 and the over.
That is some wild stuff, John.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. Money line, Vikings all day, every day. The Vikings are the better team. They know how to close out games. The Detroit Lions defense is absolutely horrible. They played Jacksonville, so that was an underlier game. Minnesota is going to put a ton of points. I am with Anthony. I will go with the over on this game, but I'm doing money line Vikings all day, every day.
I love it. Money line Vikings for me as well. I love it. I mean, the 2+2, it does something's fishy, obviously, about this, but I'll go with you, John. And yeah, over. Why not? Jets, Bills, 1 o'clock. The Bills have been hot and cold. They've been having their problems. 9.5-point home favorites over the Jets. 43.5-point line. John, your Jets?
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the points with the Jets this game. I think it's going to be a closer game than what people think. And I'm going to go with the over in this game. I think that the Jets score some points with Mike White. Obviously, Zach Wilson is not the quarterback. If Zach Wilson was the quarterback, I would be saying otherwise. I'm probably going with the under. But I think Mike White will put some points up on the board. You know what Josh Allen's going to bring. It's going to be the over. But I'm going to take the Jets with the points. I say that they cover, and somehow Buffalo squeezes this one out.
John, you don't think they could do it 2 times?
What?
The Jets beat the Bills.
Yes, they did.
You don't think they can do it again?
Buffalo of recently has been getting a little bit better. They're getting a little bit healthier too. They got Von Miller back. Tre'Davious White is coming back. This Bills defense is going to be a little bit better than the last time we saw them. So this is a different story. I think the Jets offense is a little bit better, but Buffalo is just going to be a little too much.
Just curious. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it last time. I don't see it this time, but I definitely do see it within 9.5. So I do agree with you there. I am going to take the Jets getting those points, and I do take the over as well. It's too low. But Buffalo, I mean, as good as the Jets defense is, Buffalo's going to score, and your boy Mike White is on fire. He's going to get that ball down there. I see it going over 43.5.
I agree. I'll take the points with the Jets. It's too many points. And yeah, 43.5 is lowish for these teams. The Bills, they are very good. Jets defense is very, very good. Should be fun. Jaguars, Titans. Now the Titans just got smacked around, just straight up embarrassed against Philadelphia. Now they're home favorites, 3.5 points against the Jaguars, who got smacked around by the Detroit Lions. 41.5 point over under. Jacksonville Johnny.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points with Tennessee. This is an easy one for me, but I do think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. So I'm going to go with the under this game.
I agree. Anthony?
Yeah, I'll take the same about points with Tennessee, and I'm gonna go with the over here. I think 41.5. I think 41.5 is a little low. I think both of these guys can creep up to 20 points apiece. So I'm gonna go with the over.
Eagles Giants, 1 o'clock. 7-point home dogs are the New York Giants with a 45.5 point line. Anthony, this is a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, with how it's been going, I feel proud with 7. You know, I think seven's not. It could have been worse. They could be throwing 12.5. You know, yeah, I just don't think the Giants could hold the Eagles within 7. So give me and this they've been doing magic over there with what they've been given. They have literally no passing. It's Darius Slayton is your guy, and thank God they were looking to get rid of him. Thank God they didn't. Their defense and game management and coaching and has really been what's good. Play calling much better. I still question some of the stuff, but no nearly as much as past few years. So give me the Eagles, and I'll take the over here. The Eagles just throw up 30 by themselves, no problem.
The Eagles laying the points over. Eagles are going to smoke them. John?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a little bit closer. The Giants and Commanders had a tie. The Eagles, typically the best team in football, hands down. But against a division rival, you're familiar with your fellow foe, and I think the Giants do. I'm going to take the points with the Giants with the over. Philly obviously wins this game, but I think it's going to be closer than what people think.
Well, I do agree with that though. Like those divisional games are like, you know, it's sometimes they're crazy, right? You know, Jets experience that with some of your, like everybody does, but it's something always about this division here where it's like as shitty as one team might be, they might sometimes they'd be making it really questionable. So I guess I could understand.
Eagles by 10 plus. Cowboys, home favorites against the Texans. This spread is like, I was making like sort of a half joke just there, 10 plus. The Cowboys are favored by 17 points in this game right now. 17
the highest
points
I've seen this season.
I don't remember anything bigger than 17. I mean, John's, you can tell me if you remember, but 44.5 point over under. Cowboys at home, 17 point favorites. John, what do you think here?
Oh, the Texans are losing this game, and it's not even going to be close. The quarterback situation's an absolute mess. Cooks doesn't want to play. He has the most minor calf injury, doesn't want to play. The defense is too young to make it competitive. Actually, the defense has actually been the strong point of this team. They got a lot of good rookies, actually, the Texans. It's something that's not talked about, but this offense is so abysmal that the Texans are going to barely score about maybe 10 points at, if that. I give them 10 points, a touchdown, and a field goal, maybe toward the end of the game, maybe 13. But the Cowboys are going to put up exactly what they put up, the other day. They're going to put up 30 points easily. So I'm going to take the points with the Cowboys, and I'm going to go with the over.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys laying those points in the under.
So you're both laying 17. Sheesh. What a world. What does it come to? God damn. I don't know, man. 17 points is just insanity.
It is, but look what they just did Monday night.
No, I know. I was about to say, I guess I got to do the same thing. I'll lay the 17 with the Cowboys, and I will take the under by a few. Browns, Bengals. Speaking of divisional matchups where anything can happen, Bengals home, 6-point favorites, 47-point over under.
Browns, Bengals, eh? Look what they just did out there last week to Kansas City. You called it, but Kansas City, one of the top three scoring offenses. You got to be able to stop them and outscore them. So give me them, give me them, and I'll take the over.
Now, this is the game that Deshaun Watson needs to show up. So I'm actually going to take the points with Cleveland. And I'm going to go with the over in this game. I think this game is going to be actually more high scoring, and Deshaun Watson's going to shook off the rust last game against Houston. I think he plays a little bit better this game. I'm going to lay the points with Cleveland, and Cincinnati pulls this game out.
No. I'm going to lay the points with Cincinnati. Deshaun Watson was bad, just bad last week. The defense scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on defense, 1 on special teams. Like the Browns, I think the Browns are going to get rolled in this game, so I'll lay the 6, and I will take the over though, because both teams can put up some points. Like the Browns will put up a few points, the Bengals will put up a bunch of points. Ravens, Steelers. Steelers are at home, favored because of injury by 2.5 points. 37-point over under, also probably due to injury. No Lamar. It's going to be Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, I think this is the one where I'm going to go money line Ravens. I think they pull this one out. The Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, they've been a little bit sneaky, competitive, are well coached. But the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to run the football, and they're going to somehow, some way score some points. And they're going to pull this game out. So I'm going to go money line Baltimore with the backup QB.
No, I'm going to go Steelers laying the 2.5, and I'm going to take the over just because Lamar is so important to that. Like you lose him, you lose so much. I don't think it's enough, and I think the Steelers got enough juice to pull that off.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the Steelers and lay the 2.5. I think Mike Tomlin finds a way to beat that team. It's not even just Lamar that's banged up, because like it's Lamar and like every receiver. Their running backs are pretty banged up across the board. The only guy, and even Andrews has dealt with injury quite a lot this season. I think this is one of those games where Huntley gives you 1 or 2 good ones. Last year, he only was 1-4. I'm going to take the Steelers here at home. 4:00 slate. Chiefs visiting the Broncos, a mere 9-point road favorite. This one I could have seen being double digits. 43-point over under. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to take the Chiefs and lay the points, because to me, that's not enough points. John?
Same. Anthony?
Fair. Anthony?
Same. I'll take the over though.
Seahawks, Panthers. Seahawks at home, 4.5-point home favorites. 43.5-point over under. This is kind of a similar situation. Seahawks, I'm going to lay the 4.5 points because that's not enough points. They should beat the hell out of the Panthers. And I will take the under here as well. Anthony?
Same. Agreed. Under.
John?
I'm going to lay the points with Carolina. For some reason, they're going to make this game interesting for some odd reason. And I'm going to go with the under.
No. 49ers hosting Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 49ers just lost Jimmy G for the year. They're starting Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy. They are favored by 3.5 points with a 37-point over under.
I'm going to go with the money line with the Buccaneers this game. I just have a feeling that Tom Brady, after watching Monday night, like this team has been banged up, but I just have a feeling that the Buccaneers they're just somehow, some way gonna pull this game out. This is one of an Anthony Jelly feeling more. That just what I saw and from the eye test, it looks like the Buccaneers are probably maybe hitting their fourth quarter stride. Maybe that's the thing that they needed to kind of jumpstart this team. I'm not sure about the defense, but this offense is definitely going to kickstart. And I'm going to go with money line Buccaneers.
Anthony?
That was since you guys, told me I can't stay away, and you're right because the itch is there. It's one of my money lines for this week. Give me the Tampa Bay and give me the over.
I am going to lay the points with San Francisco there, and I will also take the. I will also take the over. I'll also take the over. I think that the Niners don't lose quite as much with the quarterback. I think that Shanahan's going to scheme because the Buccaneers defense is not playing well this year. Shanahan will be able to scheme to score points with that superstar studded lineup of offensive players. And the Buccaneers are going to have a real problem with the Niners defense in San Francisco. It's going to be a real problem. Like they looked awful for most of that game. And yes, they did come down and score when they needed to at the end, and Tom Brady did his thing. But that 49ers defense is just different. They're awesome. And they're at home. It's going to be tricky. So give me those Niners. I'll lay those points, and I will take the over as well. Dolphins, Chargers, Sunday night.
That's going to be a
Dolphins.
good game.
You definitely hope so. Dolphins are visiting they're not visiting San Diego. They are visiting Los Angeles and the Chargers, and they are 3.5-point road favorites with a 52-point over-under. Anthony.
Because this game has no matter for me, in a sense, is why the Chargers are going to go ham. Okay. So
because it's already too late.
Right, for sure. Like this is when Herbert's best game of the year.
Mike Williams goes for 35.
Yeah, Mike Williams, he wasn't supposed to play, but last minute he's like, no, we need this. I need to do this. And then, he's 10 for 160 and 2. Only offense goes to Eckler and whatever. Sorry, John. No, so give me the Chargers money line and the over here because Miami, their defense, sucks as far as their corners and situation, and but they could score. They got the best threat in the game right now, so this is going to be what you would hope to be an electrifying match.
Yeah, I'm going to take Miami with the points, and I'm going to go with the over in this game. We're going to see some fireworks in this game. Tua is a top 5 quarterback this year, and I'm going to go with Tua and the Miami Dolphins covering with the points and some fireworks from both offenses.
Every time you say his name, it sounds like you're spitting it out of your mouth.
I agree. I'm going to go Dolphins, lay the points, and the over as well. Monday night, Patriots visiting Arizona. They are 1.5-point favorites on the road with a 44-point over-under.
Yeah, this is a easy one for me. It's just intriguing. Why not? Moneyline Arizona at home. Why not?
That was one of my money lines. The last three. Money line, and give me the over here.
Okay, I will agree with you guys with the over, and I will lay the points with the Patriots. Lay the points with the Patriots.
Maybe put a money line in your life.
No.
He did do a money line Vikings.
I did. I had the money line on the Vikings earlier.
This just in. I just saw a tweet.
Go ahead.
Baker Mayfield to the Rams.
It doesn't matter for this week.
Big
funny.
Fucking deal.
Yeah, he's gonna light it up.
Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal.
Pick him up this week, John. Stream him, John.
Can you imagine if he goes for 35 fantasy points?
Imagine just he goes in there and lights up and then never plays.
It will never happen. I will never pick up Baker Mayfield. I will never draft him, never picking him up on a waiver wire. He is just a non-factor, the guy.
Minnesota Vikings money line, Jets plus 9.5, Chiefs -9. It is plus 665, I want to say, for a 765 payout.
Moneyline Madness. I can't tell you what it is because it won't let me click it for some reason. It's like frozen. Arizona, the Chargers, and the Bucks. Moneyline Madness.
This guy said at the beginning that he wasn't doing Moneyline Madness anymore. And he straight up does some Moneyline Madness straight right away.
Well, because John? You know what? At the very last week, if I don't hit one of them, I'll just be like, you know what, this last one I'm going to choose, strictly, whatever. No?
Don't tell me what you're doing in the last week in week 14, bro. Let it play out.
You don't know what I'll do.
Yeah, I'm going to take the money line with the Vikings. I'm going to take the points with the Jets, similar to you. The only difference I'm going to do is I'm going to take the points with the Giants.
Okay, that's same exact number, 665. How about that?
Yeah, my number's better.
Yeah, good. So, okay, speaking of better number, let's take a look at last week's DK. Three-man contest.
Scored like 80-something points. It was ridiculous.
You got this, my guy.
Jeez. I didn't think I put a bad lineup in. It's just nobody went. I mean, nobody.
Well, let's find out if you put a bad lineup in or not. Ooh, in third place, 86.76 points. John, I can confirm, looking at it, you did put a bad lineup in. Okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson and Christian Watson all went nuts. They were great. Everybody else pretty crappy. So that'll qualify as not a good lineup. Second place, 110.16 is Felly. He had Mike White and Garrett Wilson stack, which was quite nice. And everybody else was pretty underwhelming. Enough to beat the heck out of Jonny, but not enough to not get stomped out by 40 points. 151.26 was my lineup. I had Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson as well, and Christian Watson as well, but I just had a little more juice in the tank. Wait, did I look at? Oh, that's what it was. I looked at my roster, and I told you it was what Jonny had. Let me tell you what John's roster actually was. Okay, my roster was St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson going berserk, and everybody else being like, meh, but doing enough. This is John's lineup. Christian Kirk had 19.4. Trevor Lawrence had 16.3. And then everybody else was in single digits.
It's not what you want.
Nick Chubb, all that. Yep.
Well, I had
Nick Chubb, ATN, Juju, Amari Cooper, Harrison Bryant. Okay, Treylon Burks, unfortunate. Like, I can't fault you for that one because he looked like he could have had a pretty nice day, but he had a bad injury. He did the Rod Tidwell and Rod We Trust, got knocked out cold, but held onto the ball for the touchdown and was able to walk off the field. But John, that was not good. Okay, moving on to our league breakdown for week 13. Okay, the penultimate week of the regular season saw a handful of high scores and no upsets. Every team that had a better record or was a better standing team won. Okay, nothing particularly exciting happened as far as the standings are concerned. Everybody who was where they were is still where they're at.
My hero for this week is the Gotham Rogues, pushing his record to 8-5 and locking in a playoff spot in the J Chuck division, scoring a 160.94 against the not so good this year former two-time champion, the Moth. In this game, he absolutely had Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, and Garrett Wilson, and then pretty much the rest of his team was pretty mediocre. Lamar Jackson did go down. I was a little concerned during that game. I was like, ooh, Lamar going down, not looking good for the Rogues, but had a huge performance from Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, and Garrett Wilson, and had some good flex. He had Drake London with 15.5 and Isaiah Pacheco, my boy from Rutgers, 16.2. So, and for that, the Rogues is my hero of the week.
Nice. Very nice. Anthony, what about you? Who was your hero?
My hero, and I mean, the hero that we should all take to Atlantic City, and that's our boy PBJ. Okay, a very very important match. I mean, not going to do anything to his playoff contention, but to ensure that first round bye situation. My man starts the right quarterback. You were right. Justin Fields was the better out of the three, but your saving grace was playing your best scoring position this week, which was a defense in the Cleveland Browns, scoring more points than anybody on your team with a 35 from your D. If your D scores 35, that's like saying, all right, I had a player that scored a 50.
Yeah.
So
well said.
So you're my hero because for like 4 weeks straight, you have done whatever it is magical you've done to make those wins. And however you do it, a win is a win, right? We say whatever you want to say, but a win is a win.
2-point victory. You didn't even mention.
I'm getting there. I'm just trying to give the man a little grace because we do talk how he's doing it. You have done what you needed to do every week to do what the job is, and that's get a dub. And you also do it with like fashion of keeping it excitingly close. The closest game of the week makes it juicy within just under 2 points. And fair score 155 to 153 and change. John, the question is how many more times can you do this? How many more
game win streak, baby?
How many more Tyreek Hill helmet catches or all can we do? You do have the nice combo that's been struggling for a little bit, but the Barkley Kamara is always comfortable to have. But Justin Fields, if he doesn't do the 40-point games, now you're back. So you better hope for another defense of this or a Justin Fields 40-point game for your next game. Sorry, I just rambled on. Dave, who's your hero?
My hero is somebody who my phone closed because you were talking for so long. Sorry. My hero was the Drunken Bums. Okay, the Drunken Bums went from 7th place out of the playoffs to 5th place, firmly in the playoffs by being the only 6-6 team to actually win their game. They beat Tyler Fight Club with 146 points. They had a nice day from Stephon Diggs. Samaje Perine was a clutch pickup, came through with 24.5. And pretty much everybody on the team performed well except Kittle. But as we mentioned, Jimmy G went down with injury, and that offense kind of got screwed up. Really strong performance when they needed it most. The Bums popped themselves right back into the playoffs with just 1 week left. They've got 7 wins already in the bank. They basically control their own destiny for the playoffs, and for that, the Drunken Bums are my hero. Anthony, who's your GOAT?
My GOAT, sir, is the Moth.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Moth in a position where you wanted to keep yourself alive. You needed this win to keep yourself closer to try and get yourself in the playoffs, to now securing the fact that you don't have one. You scored a 133, not a terrible score. Your opponent scores almost a 161. You need a little more juice than what you had. You had some points on the bench. You had a little Dulich. Would you start that? But you did choose the wrong running back from the Rams. Cam Akers had a 19, and your boy Williams had a nothing. Still, nothing really could have been done, but because of the situation and what you needed to do, you didn't do it, sir, and you're a GOAT today.
John, who's your GOAT?
My GOAT for this week is 11 amateurs and 1 pro. Oof. This is a rough one. Was in playoff contention before this week and has fallen to the 7th spot out of playoff contention.
Yeah, I have something to add to that later.
All right. Now, there's some mismanagement with this team because, the Sweep the Leg had a respectable I'm not saying that he's going to win, but just straight mismanagement. I mean, in his flex and tight end, just scoring single digits while he left 2 double-digit point scorers on his bench. Just not a very good performance from him. He's just honestly, he is in the outside looking in. He's puts himself in a position where he needs to win out and also be praying for some losses. And for that, the 11 amateurs and 1 pro are this week's GOAT, Dave.
Thank you, John. This week's GOAT is the team that lost. Is the team that lost in narrow, crushing fashion to PBJ, and that is Team Blumpkin. They were 6-6, hoping for a win to not only upset the apple cart for the entire playoff picture, but maintain playoff position. But instead, fall to 6-7, and they were firmly on the roster bubble. They lost by 2 points, 2.02, in fact. And his boy Alec Pierce, who burned him last week, came through this week on the bench, unfortunately. And Tyler Algier, who I can't even believe is on a roster, is in the starting lineup there. So the Blumpkin, it's just stars and scrubs lineup, but his scrubs are beyond scrubs. It's just like they're detrimental to his team. And so he lost a crucial game. He's up against the wall in a must-win situation in the final week, and for that, the Blumpkin is my GOAT. So speaking of the final week, we're going to take a look at playoff picture, and playoff predictions. But before that, Anthony, who's your key matchup in the final week of the season?
See, now I know we don't do this, but given your 2 choices in our via 3-way chat, there was only one game left to me that had any reason to be, and it was my game that I am involved in.
Oh, interesting. Go ahead.
Which was thank you. Excuse me. I'll make it good. Piggybacking off of John's 11 Amateur Pro. So Sizzler, myself, out of it for sure. But 11 Amateurs Pro.
Dead. You mean out of it as far as like your season is over, right?
Correct.
Got it.
And well, also out of it dead in a lot of parts, but still have some juice to compare to this 11 Amateurs Pro team here, which makes it juicy.
Wait, hold on a second. You broke up a little bit. You mean you're going to miss the playoffs this year, right?
Yes.
And the season's not over yet, but you already know that?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure that because it was broke up.
So 11 Amateurs Pro sitting where he's sitting, with a few of the matchups this week coming into play where some of those people that he needs to lose, I think, will lose. But I think that the turn comes out, I win this game. But anyway, sorry, which knocks him out completely. If he wins this game, he has a chance with another few pieces to get in the playoffs. So this is a very important game for him. The only one left to choose from. It's a must win for him, and it for us must need win. And there's some sparks to fly on both sides. There's still little sparks kicking, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen here, sir.
Wow, this one's a tough one. So I'm gonna go with the Bums versus the Moth. All right, Bums came off a huge win. Right now has the 5th spot, while the Moth has the 8th spot. Kind of not looking too great. Most likely out of the playoffs this week mathematically with points.
Oh no, he's out.
He's out.
Moth is out. He's eliminated, unfortunately.
Yep. So with that being said, the Moth can be in the Sizzler's position, and the Moth could beat up on the Bums.
Spoiler.
And possibly push the Bums out of a playoff spot. So this is a huge game for the Bums and a big opportunity for a former 2-time champion to knock out, hey, maybe you are a bum and you shouldn't be in the playoffs. And for that is my key matchup of the week. Dave?
Nice, very nice. Yes, I'll be keeping my eye on that one. But the one that's going to get most of my attention is definitely the 8-5 Gotham Rogues visiting the 6-7 Team Blumpkin. Now, we mentioned Blumpkin lost by just 2 points last week in a crushing loss for not only Team Blumpkin but some of the rest of us who like fun. And now he goes up against a very difficult matchup in the Gotham Rogues. Now, the Gotham Rogues is missing Lamar Jackson this week, unfortunately, due to injury, and he's missing Aaron Rodgers due to a bye. So, with waivers yet to run, we're about to find out who he's going to pick for his quarterback. Maybe it'll be Baker Mayfield. And with that being said, he's got a couple of studs on his team. Team Blumpkin's got a couple of studs on his team. Blumpkin, another one, with his back against the wall. If he loses, he's in terrible danger of missing the playoffs. So he must win to secure a spot, to solidify a spot. The Gotham Rogues could potentially find themselves somewhere in the area of the 3rd seed, maybe, if they win and a couple other things go wrong in the Baldwin division. So this is a game between two teams who are really looking to stay hot or be hot or get hot, and major playoff implications. And that's my key matchup for next week.
You meant J Chuck?
No, I said if things go wrong in my division.
Oh, gotcha.
Because if say, for example, if I lose and the Gotham Rogues wins, we'll both have the same record. And if he scores a ton of points, and if I like really shit the bed, maybe he sneaks past me.
Yeah.
So it's anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, it's very, very unlikely because I have a pretty healthy lead on him in points, but it's possible. I mean, I've outscored teams by 100 points. Teams have been outscored by 100 points multiple times this year, multiple times. So it's still anybody's guess what could definitely happen. But we are about to guess what's going to happen.
Any given Sunday.
Right. So let's take a look at what we think is going to happen over the next couple of Sundays, the next collection of Sundays. As the standings are right now, PBJ has locked up the J Chuck division. He's getting a first round bye and either the 1st or 2nd seed. The picture isn't quite as clear in the Baldwin division. The Golden Showers lead the division with about a 70-point lead. So it's getting to a point now where he can say it's safe that his scoring lead is intact over Sweep the Leg, who has the same exact record. So coming into the final game of the year, none of these teams play against each other. So all of them can win, all of them can lose. John, what's your prediction for not how the playoffs will play out, but what are the 6 seeds in order 1 through 6? How do you think the league is going to finish after the week 14 games play out?
I'm going to start off with the matchup of my 6th seed. I have Blumpkin going 7-7 with an upset against the Rogues, which I will talk about the Rogues a little bit later. This is going to be go down to the wire, and Blumpkin secures the 6th spot for me. In 5th, we have the Drunken Bums going against the Moth. I have the Bums squeezing one out over the Moth and securing the 5 spot. In the 4th spot, obviously, I have that the Rogues and Blumpkin. I have Blumpkin beating the Rogues, but the Rogues still locks in a 4th spot. In 3rd, I have Sweep the Leg going against Omar. This should be a very, very easy step on an ant kind of matchup. So Sweep the Leg would be the 3rd. 2nd big surprise is going to be the Golden Showers. All right, the Golden Showers. He easily wins his matchup against Beer Muscles. And number 1 would be PBJ against the Tyler Fight Club. Now, early this year, the Tyler Fight Club did beat on PBJ, but it's been a long time since the beginning of the season, and it looks like the Tyler Fight Club is not paying attention. Hopefully pays attention this Sunday. which opens up the door for PBJ to going to his 7th win in a row, locking in the first spot, going 11-3. So just a rundown: first place will go PBJ.
We heard you, John. Shut up, Anthony.
All right. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go other way around. So I have because of the certain matchups this week, the top 3 guys should all win their matchups. So should keep the standings being John with the best record, PBJ first. Sweep the leg and Golden Showers tying, but Golden Showers with more points. So Golden Showers 2, Sweep the leg 3. And then I have the Rogues 4. I have Blumpkin 5. And I have, because me beating 11 amateurs, I have Bums being 6. Because of the matchups of this week and how I predict who will win.
So your 5 is the Bums and 6 is Blumpkin?
Other way around.
5 is Blumpkin, 6 is the Bums.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, see, I have it PBJ and the Golden Showers 1-2. I have Sweep the Leg and Gotham 3-4. And then I have the Bums 5 and Blumpkin 6. So that means that we think that Sweep the Leg and Blumpkin will play off in the first week, and Gotham and the Bums. And then Anthony, you think it's going to be Sweep the Leg and the Bums and Gotham and Blumpkin. Hey, John, who do you think wins a Sweep the Leg Blumpkin matchup?
I'm going to say Sweep the Leg wins that matchup.
How about Anthony, Sweep the Leg versus the Bums?
Well, right off the bat, I'm just going to go with Sweep the Leg given their roster. But, can't count out that Josh Allen, Gabe Davis stack, but yeah.
Well, the Bums don't have that.
Oh, the Blumpkin, I'm thinking. I'm sorry. Yep, Sweep the Leg right out the ass whooping.
See, I have the Sweep the Leg playing against the Blumpkin, and for the reason that you just said, the Josh Allen, Gabe Davis stack, I think that it could potentially be an upset there, especially because after not really dealing with injury all season, Sweep the Leg is now suddenly starting to deal with injuries pretty much every week. This is a definite letdown spot, an upset spot. I'll say Sweep the Leg wins it, but I would not be surprised at all to see Blumpkin knock Sweep the Leg out in the first round by any means. John, Gotham Bums, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Rogues this game. The Rogues has been a little bit hot lately. I'm going to go with him winning his matchup against the Bums.
Anthony, you got the Rogues facing off against Blumpkin.
With that matchup, that's a good matchup there. And I would lean Blumpkin because of that stack.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that it's going to be like Lamar's health is going to have a major impact on how Gotham's playoffs shape up. Jonny, looks like you're
that spot.
Say again.
I said, and what he can do to fill that spot if need,
True. So, John, you'll either face off against the number 6 seed Blumpkin if they upset Sweep the Leg, or the winner of a Gotham Bums / Blumpkin contest. So you're looking at PBJ versus Blumpkin or a Gotham Bums. So one of those 3 teams. Which team do you think is most likely to beat PBJ?
I'm going to say you said I'm going to say the Blumpkin will probably be the most likely to beat me.
Interesting. And why is that?
I think Blumpkin has been just his record doesn't say the whole thing of his team. He's 6-7, but one of the highest scoring teams. And that Josh Allen, Gabe Davis lock up with Tyler Lockett, Michael Gallup. He's got a really solid. He's got a solid team, and that Phillies defense has been one of the best. So. His starting lineup is pretty strong. His RB2 is a little bit shaky. Maybe his flex is a little bit shaky, but he's got a pretty good duo right there, and that's why I'm afraid of playing him in the playoffs.
Anthony, you have Gotham Rogues facing off against PBJ, most likely. Who wins that matchup?
Well, like we said, the Lamar factor, or what position or what person he's filling in that QB position, is huge. I do like the Rogues receivers more. He's got Devontae Adams, who we all know what he can do any given week. DJ Metcalf, with any given week can have a great. Garrett Wilson's been on fire the past few weeks. Nick Chubb, number one rushing. No, he's number two, I think. But either way, I think he just has a more juice on that squad to knock John out. I think
and then
it would be a good game, but I would take the Rogues.
And then what about Blumpkin Bums? Do you think either one of them stacks up well against PBJ?
I think the Blumpkin, yes, because he has like that stack is Josh Allen, Gabe Davis, and you have Travis Kelce, right? So if they all hit, the likeliness of losing it isn't very good, right? If they all have their good days, so you're talking 80 points out of those three guys, 90 points out of those three guys you can get, and that's huge. Everybody else could start just doing okay and muster you through. So yeah, if we're ranking them, see, it's so close with Rogues and Blumpkin, as far as 1-2. Which ones I put Bums at the worst out of the two.
Agreed.
And then I would have to almost base it off of matchup, like who their matchups are for the individual players, to be honest. Like who's Devontae Adams going up against, and who's Bills going up against. So
true. Yeah, the Rogues have just a handful more points over the full season than the Blumpkin. So it's you can't even really tell, even though their records might be a little bit more split. So I would rank it right now based on everything, health and all things considered, maybe Blumpkin, Rogues, Bums, but I think the Rogues have a good shot there as well. If Sweep the Leg does win their matchup in the first round, they'll face off against the Golden Showers, 2-3. Before we get to that, Blumpkin, Gotham, Bums. Do any of these teams have a shot against the Golden Showers?
No, I don't think so.
John?
No, the Golden Showers is going to the championship this year.
So you think the Golden Showers beat Sweep the Leg in the semifinals?
Correct.
Anthony?
I think it depends on the health of Sweep the Leg at that game.
Agreed. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks, Sweep the Leg has scored over 150 points with 2 or more major injuries and having 0 or almost no points from multiple players. So, injuries have definitely fucked the last couple of games of my season up pretty well. And therefore, Sweep the Leg and the Golden Showers cannot face off in the finals, in my opinion, either. I do believe PBJ does find his way to the number 1 seed, and therefore it's going to be the winner of Sweep the Leg and the Golden Showers versus whoever plays against PBJ. I believe PBJ loses coming off the bye because he has his point differential and his wins versus the points scored versus points against. Okay. There's a less than 33 point differential, or a little bit more than 33 points, which means that over his 10 wins, he's winning by an average of, say it together, 3.3 points. 10 wins by an average of 3.3 points. As I said at the beginning of this show, John is the luckiest team in perhaps the history of our league. And there's no way that he's already won 6 games in a row that way. He's not just going to keep winning his way to the championship. It just can't. It statistically cannot happen. He's going to have somebody blow up every single week from now until the championship. Not likely. Whether he runs into Sweep the Leg or the Golden Showers in the finals, that's a loss, but I don't see John getting past the semifinals.
That would be a nice matchup, though. You Sweep the Leg and Golden Showers for the final, the 2 strongest teams.
No, I see it got screwed up again, the things that screwed up that matchup were the narrow victory of PBJ over just about everybody that he's won narrowly over this year. Any one of those losses changes the entire dynamic of the season. And then that Josh Jacobs run, that simply put, that Josh Jacobs run fucked up everything, because I had Danny Mac beat like a drum, even with the injuries to my team. And then at the end of that game, he goes for 80 yards, pushes him up over 200 rushing, all the bonuses, blah, 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 gives him the win and evens our record. And because of the points and the record and everything else, that screwed it up. Because otherwise, I'm tied with John record-wise, and you're looking at the potential sweep the leg Golden Showers matchup. But instead, we'll be lucky to get that if we do get it in the semifinals, and then we'll see what happens in the finals. So that's everything we've got for the playoffs. We're going to have to wait and see, though, what happens in week 14. And I will see you guys there, where it's always. Peace.